You know what time it is. It's time for another lesson, y'all. Let's get it in. Let's get it going. Get that notebook, get that pen and paper, y'all. Hey y'all, how you doing today? How is everything going? How is life treating you? I hope you are well. So today we're going to do some factoring of just trinomials. We've been working on, in the previous video, we were working on factoring different types of polynomials. And now we're just going to be really a bit more restrictive and just focus on trinomials, right? Polynomials with 3 terms. And in this case, we're working on a very specific type of trinomial. So let's jump into it. In your standard form for a trinomial, right, you have 3 terms. And here, I just wanted to highlight again to refresh in our memories, right, the coefficients. And this is the form of it, right? The first term, A, the A term is here, here's the B, and here's the C. So when I'm saying that we're factoring trinomials where the A term is 1, you'll see that in the second that every example that we're going to work through, right, the A term is always going to be 1, because there's a little bit more work when this first term in specific is greater than 1. But right now, we're A term equals 1. Okay, so everybody is used to doing this. I know you spent a lot of time last year working through these type of problems. And then I would ask you to FOIL this. Let me write this over so I can give myself a little bit more room here. And we would ask you to evaluate this, right? We want you to do the work for it. And you would multiply each one. And if you were to FOIL this, you would do the x times x, which would give you x squared. And then you add 5 times x, 5x, and 3 times x is 3x. And then 3 times 5 is 15. Now, I'm going to write this over just because I want to show you something. Once we combine everything over here we have a trinomial. Now, take a look at the relationship here, for example. What relationships can you make in terms of this? Can you deduce in terms of this 5 and this 3, and let's say this 15? What could I do with this 3 and this 5 to get a 15? What could I do with this 3 and this 5 to get this 8? I want you to think about that. And then I want you to think about these first terms here and in relation to this first term. What is happening here that could have some type of relationship to what's happening here? All right, and you notice, right, the A term here is 1. A term is 1. Here's our form. Now, if you put those ideas in your mind, you guessed it, right? The first 2 terms here are multiplied together to give me this term. And these 2 second terms here are multiplied together to give me this term, and that these 2 are then combined, added to get the middle term. So we're multiplying the first to get the first, we're multiplying the last to get the last, and we're combining these numbers, right, to get the middle. Okay, so if that is the case, then when I give you something like this, and I want you to factor this, right? This is our standard form, if you will. And I want you to break this down into our factored form. A factor form, the 2 parentheses, right? The 2 binomials. You would tell me what we just talked about. What will be the first 2 terms are right here? Remember, based on this term here, what will be the first 2 terms that go here? What 2 terms could I multiply together to get x squared? X times x. Now you need to think of factors of 6. Give me 2 factors of 6 that when I multiply them together, right, I get 6. Now, watch this. You could have come up with 6 and 1. Because that works. 6 times 1 is 6. But when you add them together, do you get 5? No, you get 7. So that can't be the answer. That's the trick there. When you get to a number that has more than one set of factors, you got to be careful to use and pick the right factors. So in this case, it's the other factors, 3 and 2, because it's all addition. And this is our factored form. So we're taking those trinomials, breaking them down into their fully factored form, if that's possible. Let's do a couple more, just a couple more. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at these two. Okay. I want to factor both of these. Right, here's my standard forms. I'm going to go for my factored forms. So here we go. First two terms, based off of this one, you got it, x and x. Don't even have to think about it. Now, let's think of factors of 24, that when I multiply them together, I get 24. And when I combine them, I get a negative 10. Think about those factors. Which factors would work? If you said 2 and 12, you are right on the money. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you on that one. But be careful of your signs. Which number should be positive and which number should be negative if I'm trying to combine them to get a negative 10? Which one? If not both. You got it. I took my time with that one because I want you to recognize that, right? Signs do play a part in this as well. Okay, let's try this last one here. Same thing, let's go. We know our first two terms, x and x. Factors of 7. 7 and 1. What's our signs? Negative 7 plus 1. You got it. Sometimes it doesn't work. I think we've practiced some ones already where you try to factor them, they don't work. But for the most part, that's exactly how it should work out when you're factoring trinomials and the a term is 1. All right? Well, there you go. There you have it. As always, let me know. Keep me posted, and I'm always here to help if I can. Until next time.